You want to lose body fat, you want to look absolutely shredded. These are my results here. And on my last treadmill chats video, I almost knew that this was going to be the response to it. So a lot of you were saying that if I wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, I'm going to eat more and it's going to be harder for me to be in a calorie deficit. And I'm here to tell you how that's false and how this is not necessarily the case. And I know there is a lot of people out there that skip breakfast and maybe start eating till 2 p.m. so they can almost save their calories to later in the day and think that that's more productive. The thing is by the time you do that, you're going to be craving things that you wouldn't have been craving if you just ate normally and ate as soon as you wake up in the morning. And you're almost going to have this not binge, but kind of mentality where you're craving a bunch of things, your body's craving sugars and carbs and everything. And that's when you're going to make maybe poorer choices because of that. So essentially, ever since I started waking up earlier in the morning, even though I'm eating first thing in the morning and my first meal is probably before I was even waking up prior to that, I'm actually going to bed earlier. So you wake up at 5 a.m., you're going on your morning walk, and then you come back and you're eating your 30 grams of protein for breakfast. This is going to keep you full, but you're probably going to need something in between then and lunch. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I start wanting lunch at 11 a.m. The thing is that because you're waking up earlier, pretty much means that you're going to go to sleep earlier. And the thing is, personally, when I was staying up later and waking up later, I was actually snacking at night 10 times more than I would be when I'm snacking in the morning. Because in the morning, I'm super productive. I'm doing all these things. I'm not really thinking about food like I am at night when you're kind of sitting and watching TV. There's lots to do in the morning because it's bright, right? Whereas at night, all there is to do is maybe sit and scroll and watch TV and everything. And you'll find that that's when you eat the whole packet of chips or the entire packet of lollies or chocolates or whatever. And then you feel horrible about it, or you're craving those things, or you're literally just wanting to eat because you're bored. So yes, what ends up happening is I have my dinner at around 5:30, and then I have my yogurt bowl dessert, which is actually the hack to being in a calorie deficit is yogurt bowls. But at the end of the night, as a sweet treat for dessert, the reason why this is so good is because the volume is high. If it's a lot of food and feels like a lot of food, you can also get a Ninja Creamy and have a whole pint of that and make it up. But I love yogurt bowls for that reason. You can make it really big. A lot of yogurt honestly just means more protein. So essentially I just put that on there with some fruit or frozen fruit, whatever you may be. Berries are really, really good because, again, you can get a lot of volume out of it. So essentially I just put that on, and I really like it because the frozen of the fruit kind of makes the yogurt really nice and cold and a little bit frozen. And then I even just melt maybe 1 square of dark chocolate, the Lindt ones, or a couple of squares. Even powdered peanut butter is amazing, especially with the raspberries. It's so good. A little bit of honey, a little bit of salt. You can get creative with it. You can put cocoa powder on it. There's just so much that you can do for literally the best calories and the best macros. And that keeps me so full. I can easily overeat on that and be oh my goodness, I'm stuffed. But I go to bed so satisfied. I've eaten my really high protein dinner and then my really high protein dessert, and I just feel so good going to sleep. So I'll end up having that around 7 p.m. I'm in bed ready to go to sleep at 8, and it will be a miracle if I make it past 9 not asleep, because I'm just sitting in bed. And sometimes I'll take a tea to bed, or maybe I'll just hang out, and I don't find myself snacking at night anymore. And I think that's because I was waking up earlier. So you think that maybe it's the opposite way around, but really it actually helped me and was way more productive when it came to being in a calorie deficit and everything like that. Also, sleep is so, so important when you're in a calorie deficit as well. So making sure you're getting those 8 hours, because that's when your body is going to recover. It can digest all your food. All of the magic happens when you're asleep. So having 8 hours sleep, so many people say to me, I'm only getting 5 hours. If you're going to bed at midnight and waking up at 5, that's when it's not productive. But if you're getting a lot of sleep, you're doing a 9 to 5 sleep schedule, oh my goodness, that's when you're literally winning. So that's my tip on how to wake up early and not feel like you are starving throughout the entire day or eating too much food and feeling unproductive.